Custodes Solar Spearhead. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the new way to run Custodes, and if you like vehicles and mounted units, this could be the detachment for you. So we've got detachment rules, enhancements and stratagems to go over in this awesome overview for the brand new detachment. Coming up is going to be an overview of the brand new detachment that Games Workshop have been releasing for Warhammer 40,000. We're going to look at whether this detachment is going to be a competitive choice, whether it's going to be one that's more flavorful and narrative, and maybe something that you might want to consider trying yourself, or alternatively, what you need to know and look out for if you're going to be playing against some of these new detachments. Now, to take things a little bit further, on our members page, and if you want to become a YouTube member, the link's going to be in the description. You are going to get a list for this detachment, something that's super competitive, super flavorful, and we're going to make the most of what we can do with this detachment. Now, as we always say, we will try and help you use the models that you own, and we're going to give you some top combos that you can introduce into your list to really make the most of them. Now, not only that, but you're also going to get loads of additional members content, whether it's our live members lounge where you can get your questions answered, or even dictate our games that we play on streams on Fridays. And on our masterclass series, we go one step further. We show you the list, we show you how to deploy it, and we also show you some advanced tactics. And the best thing about that is that you're going to understand exactly how every single faction plays in the game of Warhammer 40,000, so you don't get caught out at the tabletop. We're all about helping you feel like you're able to compete at the table, and knowing all that information is going to be one of those steps to ensure that you don't get gotcha momented. So enjoy this detachment overview, and we really hope and look forward to your feedback and some of the best ways to play this detachment.
It's time to take a look at the Solar Spearhead detachment for the Custodes. So this is one of our brand new detachments given to us by Games Workshop for the Grotmas Advent calendar event. Michael, we're going to be taking a look at an overview of the detachment. We're going to take a look at enhancements, stratagems, some key combos potentially as well. Let's start off with the detachment rule. What do we get for playing this detachment?
We get Auric armor.
Okay.
This is probably going to make sense in a minute.
Right.
So we get +2 OC on any Custodes vehicles.
Okay.
Just the vehicles.
Right, cool.
That are at starting strength.
Yep.
Okay. In addition, if we're below starting strength, we get reroll hit rolls of 1.
Okay. Right.
And if we're below half strength, we get we roll wound rolls of 1.
So kind of reminiscent of Crusher Stampede, right?
Kind of like Crusher Stampede, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
because we already hit on 2s, and sometimes we wound on 2s.
It's better than
We've got
Crusher.
reroll
Yeah.
hit rolls of 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1. This is all about vehicles.
Right.
That's not it though.
Okay.
So Walker models get +2 move and +1 advance and charge.
Oh, right. So our dreadnoughts are just going to be crazy in this
If
detachment.
you like Custodes dreadnoughts, which I won't lie, are probably my favourite part of the Custodes range.
Yeah, the one with the shield. I don't know what he's called.
Gelatus, mate.
He's so
the
cool,
Gelato
isn't he?
dreadnought.
Yeah, the ice cream dreadnought.
The Gelato.
Yeah.
He's good. He's
nice.
good.
Yeah.
It gets better.
There's more.
Yes.
Right.
So you can choose for 2 of your walkers to be characters.
No way. So we can turn dreadnoughts into characters.
Yes. So they could be a warlord. Equally, they can have enhancements.
Interesting. Right. Well, this opens up a lot of plays then, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now, this is a completely brand new way of playing Custodes, and actually it's quite different to any other detachment we've seen in the fact that it's opening up with like dreadnoughts and walkers and allowing units to become characters, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've got a few different options. So the vehicles, obviously rhinos. So rhinos could be OC4 starting strength.
That's pretty good.
Hiding behind a wall, that's just handy.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we've obviously got land raiders that are going to get some buffs from this. If they hit on 2's base already and they have las cannons, they're a bit more efficiency after they've been damaged. But the real kicker is obviously the dreadnoughts. So walkers, we've got the classic venerable dreadnought, but from the compendium, we've got the Gelatus shield dreadnought, and we have the spear dreadnought.
The spear dreadnought.
Name I always forget.
Yeah.
So spear dreadnought, shield and sword dreadnought, and then of course the mighty Telemann dreadnought, which is the big boy.
Yes. Right, okay, and obviously they're vehicles as well, so they get the detachment rule, right? With the extra OC and the rerolls potentially as well. So
yes, +2 move, everything, you name it.
Right, okay, so we've established that we've got a really good detachment rule here. Let's look at some enhancements. What enhancements can we have here?
The first enhancement is Adamantine Talisman.
Okay.
So this is any Custodes model. Could be one of those dreadnoughts. You're going to get +1 to the strength, attacks, and damage of your melee weapons.
Okay, right. Well, the damage is a bit of a kicker there, isn't it? Well, we're going to get a really hitty Dreadnought then.
Yes, so my personal favourite is, of course, the Sword and Shield Gelato Dreadnought, who's going to get 9 attacks at strength 9, AP 2, damage 4.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is there any other places you can see non-Dreadnought characters taking this?
You could potentially look at a mounted, so a bike captain. There is some support for mounted units in this detachment as well, as we'll see later.
Yeah.
So getting the lance, a few more attacks, a bit of extra strength combined with lance as a rule, and then damage 3 is quite nice. It's going to make a lot more out of that captain model.
Okay.
But to be honest, most of the Custodes characters are going to get a lot out of it. An extra attack, strength and damage.
Shield captain would be good with the extra damage.
Even your blade champion, because it'll affect all the different sword variants you've got. So your damage 3 dev wounds sword, damage 4 dev wounds.
That's pretty good.
So I think there's a lot of options for this one. Next is Augury Uplink. Very simple. Any Custodes model, Feel No Pain 5+.
No, Michael, no. Just no. A Dreadnought with Feel No Pain 5+.
You can't kill them.
No.
There's no point. Don't even bother shooting.
If you hurt it, it gets better anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. I mean, it's really good. Obviously, it's going straight on a Dreadnought. We don't even bother anywhere else.
Nope. Personal pick, Telemann.
Sure. Yeah, put it on the big boy.
Yep. Innate -1 damage. Incoming damage is just -1. And now you've got to Feel No Pain. Next is Honoured Fallen. This is a vehicle model only, so this has to go on a Dreadnought. But it's a 6-inch aura of reroll 1s to hit for infantry and mounted within 6 inches.
So you effectively get a mini version of the detachment rule spread out to everyone else, right?
Yes, but all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
This is actually fantastic. It just depends on how manoeuvrable you can get your actual Dreadnought around.
Yeah.
But being able to give your wardens, your guard, even your mounted units, reroll 1s to hit, makes them so much more efficient. If it's guard squads, they're going to get reroll 1s to hit, so basically reroll everything to hit because they hit on 2s. And then, of course, if they're on an objective they control, reroll wounds as well.
Yeah, it's going to double down on their efficiency, isn't it? Which, in all honesty, Custodes should be the most efficient units in the game, right? Because they are Custodes. They should be like that. But it's nice to see that you can have a buff in Dreadnought rather than just an absolute powerhouse Dreadnought as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very good. Finally, we have Veteran of the Cataphractoi. So this is an infantry or mounted unit only, so you can't put this on a Dreadnought.
Okay.
However, in the movement phase, you can pick a vehicle within 6 inches, and they get full back and shoot.
Okay, right. That's an interesting one, right? I mean, the Dreadnoughts will probably kill anything in combat anyway, but I guess you could pick like a Land Raider or a Grav Tank to get full back and shoot and start getting what they need to.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can have a more shooty Telemann Dreadnought, potentially, and, kick it backwards. Yeah, you could even give the Telemann Dreadnought the reroll 1s aura.
Okay,
Because it's quite a big base, potentially. Yeah, I mean, it's all right, yeah.
What character could you see having this being our placement holder for this?
It's a difficult one because you kind of want your characters with your
units.
Yeah.
There's not for most detachments have this sort of rule. It's like a Tech Marine equivalent, right? That does something like this. There's not really that for Custodes.
No. Yeah, I'm not really sure, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know if you can think of something.
Yeah.
In the comments or in the Discord.
That
would be good for that. But I think the other ones are so good anyway.
Yeah, you don't need that one to be fair. I mean, you're already putting a Feel No Pain on, definitely. And then obviously we've got the aura to be able to make our army a lot more efficient. So there's 3 that you're picking. So this one just kind of gets brushed under the rug, I guess.
Yeah, it really depends on how many shooting assets you got. Obviously, Caladius Grav Tanks are going to benefit from the detachment. Yeah. You're going to get lots more OC, potentially reroll 1s to hit once they're below starting strength. But obviously, they can get tied up. So being able to fall back and shoot is good. But with the focus on Dreadnoughts, they're going to do melee. Like most of them are built for melee. Yeah. And their shooting isn't that great. So falling back and shooting isn't that necessary, I don't think, to them.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, with every detachment as well, we do have stratagems to look at. So what is the first stratagem you want to take a look at?
Flawless Construction. 1 CP, enemy shooting phase. You can pick one of your vehicles, and they are -1 to be wounded if the strength is higher than your toughness.
Right, okay, so last cannons and all the the anti-tank weaponry is obviously going to be -1 to wound. That's pretty good.
The age of infantry is over.
The age of infantry is
The age of the vehicle has begun.
Just gonna have a battle with this, the Necron one, and then also have maybe Ironstorm thrown in when that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Next up, we've got Emperor's Vengeance. This is 1 CP. It will work on any Adeptus Custodes unit. It's fight on death on a 4-up.
Okay.
Which is interesting. It's always difficult with Custodes whether you use it or not, because you don't know if you're gonna lose that many models because you're relying on a 4-up invuln. However, if you use it on a Dreadnought, it's on a 3-up.
Okay, right. So I think it's more of a Dreadnought strat then, right?
Yeah, because you kind of know when the Dreadnought's going to go down in combat, whereas when it's multiple Custodes models, and you know your Dreadnought's going to do damage as well. A Galactus Dreadnought with 8 damage 3 attacks, if you think it's going to go down because it's got 2 wins left, it might be worth just spending the CP, fighting death on a 3-up, and you just pick up whatever killed you. Yeah,
I mean, it makes combat armies look at it and go, well, I probably will lose on my unit on the hit back. There's not really a guarantee. Like, you're going to lose something hitting that in combat. So it's a really nice thing to have in the pocket. It's fight on death, especially on something like a Dreadnought that's like flat 4 damage potentially, right?
Yeah, exactly. The downside, of course, is it's on a 3-up, so you could just roll a 1 or a 2.
True.
And do you use that, or do you use a CP reroll on the 4-up invuln?
Yeah.
Which is always a debate with the Custodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another fight phase stratagem, Wrathful Advance. This can go on anything. It's 1 CP and allows your unit before piling in to pile in D3 plus 3 inches.
So the piling thing is a weird one, right? Because pilings can be quite restrictive. Obviously, you have to go towards the closest model, so it depends on how the charge is rolled out before when you're using this stratagem, right? What's your take on it?
I think it's actually great for Custodes.
Okay.
Custodes struggle with the fact that they have large models and they tend to get strung out.
Sure.
For a lot of armies, they'd much rather have consolidation to tie things up.
That's my thoughts on it.
And so forth. Yeah. But with Custodes, if you are able to get maybe 1 model round a ruined wall into combat, this strat now allows you to potentially D3 plus 3 inches, get round that wall with more models and actually fight. Because it really hurts when you miss out on just 1 Custodes, let alone 2 or 3. So it's a very nice one to have. It's situational as well, and it's always nice to have a stratagem that is situational.
Yeah.
And in this case, for Custodes, I think the piling is more important than necessarily the consolidate.
The consolidate, right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like I said, when you're looking at it from that perspective, it makes complete sense that you need to get as many models into combat as possible.
Yeah, there are some advanced strategies as well that we can look at on the masterclass with combining multiple dreadnoughts fighting and then using this to be able to strike other units.
Sure.
The next one we have, Jordan, I think everybody saw this coming, let's be honest. Unstoppable. 1 CP.
No, wait. Before you say it, does it involve terrain?
Yeah.
Does it involve moving through terrain?
Yeah. So you can pick a vehicle or mounted unit.
Right.
And you can ignore models and terrain for the rest of the phase.
Of course they can. Right, yeah. I mean, I can tell, right? Dude, honestly, I think everyone should just be given this stratagem at this point.
I mean, it seems to be a trend, doesn't it?
Everyone should have this one. It's nice that it's unmounted.
Yeah.
Let's just, obviously, cool, vehicles going through walls, whatever.
Look, the Custodes dreadnoughts are going to Kool-Aid man through walls anyway. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah. And just go bang.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, I think with the bikes, one of the reasons why people weren't taking them from what Custodes players have said is they don't move around a board very well.
Yeah, they're slower than infantry.
Yeah,
especially when you consider the blade champ with advanced charge. So now actually having a fly unit that will ignore models and terrain, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Might actually put a jet bike unit in this list.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it'll be good to see them on the table because we haven't seen them much in 10th edition yet, right? So, or at all in 10th edition. So it's good to see that we can have them in this army and do well with them.
Relentless Persecution is the next one. You can't escape, Jordan.
No.
It's 1 CP in the movement phase. If you advance with the vehicle, they can still shoot. If it's a walker, they can shoot and charge.
Can we combo this with moving through walls?
Yeah, of course. 2 CP.
Course. Yeah.
Move through the wall. Charge.
Oh yeah, bang, bang.
Yeah.
I mean, look, of course, there's got to be this in there as well to allow maybe like everything to be able to just like dreadnoughts in particular shining from this, aren't they?
Yeah, well, you've got +2 move, you've got +1 to your advance, and you've got +1 to your charge.
Yeah.
You've got +4 to your threat range just from the detachment rule.
Yeah.
And now this stratagem allows you to really use that.
That is very good.
It's very good.
Yeah, I'm terrified now, to be honest. I mean, Iron Storm is normally meant to be sitting back. You're not supposed to come at me, okay? You're supposed to just sit back with your tanks and shoot like normal armies, all right?
Now it's Dreadnought spam.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, it looks nice.
Yeah.
We'll see, interestingly, how it functions on the tabletop. I suspect it's going to be quite difficult for some armies to deal with.
Yes.
But we do have one more stratagem. And that final stratagem is Punishment Inescapable.
Just can't escape from this Custodians.
You're just saying.
Yeah.
So for 1 CP, in your shooting phase, you can ignore cover with your unit. In addition, you ignore any or all modifiers to your ballistic skill or hit roll. Okay, not just any modifiers whatsoever. It's just ballistic skill, hit roll modifiers, and ignoring cover.
Right.
So you basically don't pop smoke against this.
Yeah, sure.
But obviously, you'd have to declare this before your opponent declares popping smoke.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's good because it means that now you never get these AP3 last cannons or the grav tanks, whatever AP they are. I know they're very high. They just don't care about you being in cover. They're always going to be able to shoot you with their full AP and do the most damage they possibly can. Yeah. Overall, dude, this detachment sounds very good. It does sound like maybe this could become a new way to play for Custodians. I don't know. What's your take on it?
It will require a completely different set of models, obviously, because you're going very heavily in on the Dreadnoughts. But it's very much going to be that kind of stat check style army, as you sort of referenced earlier, Iron Storm, except this time it's all combat.
Yeah.
You can take some shooting assets and maybe run a Caladius or two.
Yeah.
But realistically, you're looking at 6 Forge World Dreadnoughts, 1 to 2 Telemans. We'll look at a list more closely, but it's going to be very, very tough. It's all 2-up saves, and it's all very efficient. It can shoot and it can do combat.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very intimidating army to play on the tabletop.
Yeah.
And yeah, people are going to struggle against this.
No, honestly, like I think it's just becoming funny now at this point with this Grotmas calendar. Just everyone's just being given walkthrough walls. This is the 3rd army now where we've just been given just walk through terrain. Yeah. Why have terrain, to be honest? You can ignore cover as well. Yeah. So, yeah, honestly, it's very, very good. I'm excited to see what Custodians players can do with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Custodians players, let us know in the comments what you think about this detachment. Do you have the models to run it? Let us know. And what combos have you thought would work well with it as well? It'd be good to know in the comments section below. And we'll be moving on to the list video. That'll be next.